Yeah, I wanted to be a part because of the experience that we had last year. Honestly, we had a program, a podcast that had been submitted for a few awards, and we were lucky enough to have been chosen as a winner in a few of those categories. And when I was able to look at the other creative and other campaigns from brands that are not within our competitive set but are out there, it's important work. And so if I could be a part of this in an additional but different way, to evaluate those creative campaigns and to award brands and marketers and campaigns that are trying to bring light to really important social and cultural moments and issues, how could you not want to be a part of that? So that was my motivation for doing it this year. Yeah, I think for an underrepresented issue or audience, I'm Canadian by birth. I live here in the United States. And so, the indigenous North American, Native American communities are a large part of, they were here first and are still a major part of our culture and our communities and our population, but they don't get the same level of attention and awareness as I think that they should. I mean, when you look at some of the data of indigenous Native American communities that live in arguably one of the wealthiest, most powerful countries in the world, the health disparities and the social determinants of health that affect them are immense. When you look at suicide rates, when you look at their ability to access healthcare, their ability to access clean drinking water. I mean, how can you live in a country like this and not have easy access to healthcare and drinking water? I mean, those are basic, fundamental human rights to be able to have. And I think the issues that permeate through that community are deep, and are not necessarily talked about on the same level as other communities and other populations within North America or within the United States. So although they are a much smaller part of the overall population, there are other demographics which are much larger, and I can understand then why brands and organizations and companies will direct more marketing towards them. That is a true underrepresented population that I think is far too often overlooked, and in many cases ignored. So yeah, that's a population. I mean, I feel like this has been a year where I've unfortunately seen brands do the opposite, actually. I mean, when you think of, Pride Month here in the United States, a number of brands pulling away sometimes, or maybe shirking their responsibilities and from, the commitment that they've shown in years past, and when political pressure is, placed upon them, moving away from it. So that's unfortunate. I would say though that a brand that has been enduring over the years is Dove. I mean, I think everyone would recognize that they have done a lot for not only women's health, women's beauty, but they're now trying to delve into mental health of teens, mental health of women, and even in social media, and trying to help with some of the laws and regulations that need to be around youth and social media. And I think what Dove does well is they are consistent, they are authentic, and they have not moved away from this element of making change that is impactful, because they've done it for years. And so you can't be a brand that invests for a year or two, maybe when it's politically expedient to do so, and then move away when the spotlight is off. I mean, they have been there consistently, which I think makes them a true ally to the individuals that they are speaking to, and a really force for change within, women's health and youth health and mental health and all the other areas that they focus upon. So I would say, yeah, Dove. I think there's two things. One that probably won't necessarily be readily apparent when you submit a campaign, and one that would be. I would hope that those that submit campaigns are doing so with a longer term vision. And you won't necessarily be able to adjudicate a campaign based upon that. But that would be my advice to any brand marketer, that when you are submitting these campaigns for cultural change and for impact, that you have in the back of your mind that this isn't a one and done, but this is a true commitment that you are making because it is right for your business, but it's also right for the greater good. I think when you're actually looking at campaigns, I'm looking for moments that galvanize action. I think there's one thing to say, okay, well, we are shedding a light on X issue, X problem, X demographic, what have you.